Now.
Call to order. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Marcus Major.
Present.
Alan Stewart.
Present.
Robert Owens.
Present.
Steve Skeet.
Here.
Doug Tyson.
Here.
I'm here. William Edgotch is absent. Daniel Clemens.
Here.
Jaden Bailey.
Here.
Joshua Zinger. Here. Okay, July minutes. Oh, we have an oath of office. You, Steve.
Yep, that's me. Do I need to stand up? I don't remember. It's been, 3 years?
I solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas and faithfully discharge my duties with Leavenworth County, so help me God.
Good job. Motion for approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Marcus.
Yes.
Alan.
Yes.
Robert Owens.
Abstain. Absent.
Steve Skeet.
Abstain, absent.
Doug Tyson.
Yes.
William Gotcha absent. Daniel Clemens.
Yes.
Jaden Bailey.
Yes.
Joshua Zinger. Okay, Secretary's report.
All right. Good evening, gentlemen. On your agenda today, you have 2 items on the consent agenda. So if you approve the agenda, those will automatically be approved with that action. And then you have 3 plat and or exception items on the regular agenda, 1 public hearing for a rezoning, and then we also have the Board of Zoning Appeals that will need to meet following the Planning Commission. So again, we will need 6 members to stay. The rest can go, but we will have 1 variance case on that.
Okay. Do I have any declarations? Nope. Okay, moving on. Do I have a motion of approval for the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Marcus Major.
Yes.
Alan Stewart.
Yes.
Robert Owens.
Yes.
Steve Skeet.
Yes.
Doug Tyson.
Yes.
William Gotcha is absent. Daniel Clemens.
Yes.
Jaden Bailey.
Yes.
Joshua Zinger.
Yes.
Regular agenda. The 11th.
Mr. Chairman, before you begin, I would just like to say my hesitancy on the consent agenda had to do with breaking up land, doing a final plat of 1 acre plots and allowing septic systems. Instead of, at some point in time, I think we have to get to the county has to get to the point where if we know the land is going to go to a high density, we got to get to the point where we start holding people accountable for getting some form of sewer system going in the county. Because right now we're just building a lot of little plots here and there, and they all got these septic tanks, and at some point in time, and I know that John is going to shoot me for this, but I mean, at some point in time, I think we need the county to get serious, especially near communities that are going higher density, and that is my concern, and I've made it known, so I'll shut up now.
Staff would agree to some degree. We certainly have the utility question that we posed.
We anticipate that we will have a utilities recommendation committee. It's essentially formed by the end of the year, and starting reviewing those processes and potential elements that could be incorporated down the road. As it stands today, those one acre lots are acceptable under current regulations. And until there is a change by the governing body to change that, if they comply with the regulations, we have to recommend approval.
And I understand that. I'm saying as we look to the future of the county.
Understood.
And the future land use and especially in the area where this particular plot was, where we're getting more density in housing, at some point in time, we have to address this. But
Understood.
I've made my point. Thank you. Thanks.
Got on record. Okay, Leavenworth County Planning Commission will now hear case DEV-25-066, a track split exception for Frederickson, as outlined in the posted agenda. This is not a public hearing item. The planning staff will now give the staff report.
All right. Good evening, gentlemen. The case before you right now is case DEV 25-066. The applicants are requesting an exception from the zoning and subdivision regulations of Article 50, Section 40.3I, which is the lot depth to lot width requirement for Tract 1 on the proposed track split. Tract 1 exceeds the 1-to-4 lot depth to lot width ratio by approximately 1,220 feet. Tract 2 is being created with meeting the minimum RR5 zoning district requirements. This would allow for Tract 1 to have the largest amount of road frontage possible to bring it closer to meeting regulations. Further analysis of the exception can be found on page 2 of the staff report. As a reminder, exceptions are based upon the 3 criteria needed for the approval. If the exception were to be approved, it would be in conformance with regulations. The applicant is here to discuss the request further and to answer questions. With that being said, I am open to questions you might have.
Does the applicant wish to speak? Okay. Is there any additional information to be presented?
No, sir.
Are there questions and comments from the members of the commission? I will entertain a motion to approve the exception.
Mr. Chairman, I find that all the criteria for exception to Article 50, Section 40.3.I lot depth to lot width ratio of the zoning and subdivision regulations for case DEV-25-066 as submitted by the applicant have been met, and I move to approve the exception to Article 50, Section 40.3I lot depth, lot width ratio of zoning and subdivision regulations in case DEV 25-066.
Second.
He beat you.
Speak up.
Okay. Is there discussion of the motion? Roll call vote. Marcus Major,
Yes.
Alan Stewart,
Yes.
Robert Owen,
Yes.
Steve Skeet,
Yes.
Doug Tystead,
Yes.
William Hutchins, absent. Daniel Clemens,
Yes.
Jaden Bailey,
Yes.
Joshua Zanger.
Yes.
It passes 8-0. Where's the part where I read when they'll read?
What was that?
Another part where I say when the commissioners are going to go over it?
I'm going to go over.
When it will
So,
appear before the.
It's an exception, so it just gets approved at the
Okay.
planning commission level. It doesn't go to the board of county commissioners.
If I'd paid more attention, I might know that.
A couple of these are administrative actions, but when they go outside the limits of what staff can do, we bring that to the planning commission. We've been doing that for a couple of years now. Once you make that approval, we administratively handle the rest.
Okay. Moving on to Article 2576, the Leavenworth County Planning Commission will now hear case DEV-25-076, boundary line adjustment exception for Lavery Walker as outlined in the posted agenda. This is not a public hearing item. The planning staff will now give the staff report.
All right, case DEV 2576 is a boundary line adjustment. It is for the properties at 17208 and 17200 Eisenhower Road. That's a lot of zeros, sorry. This request arises from an existing accessory structure that was constructed too close to the adjoining property line. As you can see there, Josh is pointing to the bent shape of that line. So this request is bringing that structure back into conformance by swapping land from the south and the north to the opposite owners in order to make sure that structure meets setbacks and is compliant on that lot. However, during the review process, it was noted that both parcels are actually comprised of two legal descriptions. And so you have two existing parcels along the back that have no road frontage at this time. However, in function, both parcels have been in this shape for some time. So the request arises due to the fact that they are combining those legal descriptions into two lots. It does not meet the lot depth to lot width, so technically they need to get an exception because we are changing those legal descriptions around. So as of that, staff did provide a full analysis of the factors that you guys have to consider for an exception. So if you have any questions about that, please let us know.
Okay. Does the applicant wish to speak? Is there any additional information to be presented?
No, sir.
Are there questions or comments from the members of the commission? I will entertain a motion to approve the exception.
Mr. Chairman, I find that all criteria for an exception to Article 50, Section 40.3.I, lot depth to lot width ratio of the zoning and subdivision regulations for case DEV 25076 as submitted by the applicant have been met, and I move to approve the exception to Article 50, Section 40.3.I, lot width to lot depth to lot width ratio of the zoning and subdivision regulation in this case.
Second.
Is there a discussion of the motion?
Great work done on the adjustment from what I read, like a building structure, so it's good work on that. Good work.
Roll call vote. Marcus Major?
Yes.
Alan Stork?
Yes.
Robert Owens?
Yes.
Steve Skeet?
Yes.
Doug Tyson?
Yes.
Daniel Clemens?
Yes.
Jaden Bailey?
Yes.
And Joshua Zenger?
Yes.
Passes 8-0. Moving on. The Leavenworth County Planning Commission will now consider case DEV-25-074, a rezone request from RR-5 to RR-2.5 as outlined in the posted agenda. This requires a public hearing. Public comments will be limited to 5 minutes per person. Planning staff, and I'll give the staff report.
All right, good evening, gentlemen. The next case is case DEV-25-074. This is a request to rezone a property located at 21443 Springdale Road from RR5 to RR2.5. The applicants provided a concept plan where they are wanting to create 2 additional lots from the parent tract of land. The future land use for this property is identified as RR 2.5. The staff reviewed this request based off the 7 golden factors, which is needed in a rezoning request. Those factors and analysis of those factors can be found on page 2 of your staff report. The request is something, the recommendation staff was for approval. The applicant is here to answer any questions. With that being said, I am open to yours.
Upon opening the public comment portion of this hearing, those of you who wish to speak either for or against this item upon recognition, would give your name and your address each time you begin to speak. This is necessary since the public hearing is being recorded. The public comment portion of this hearing is now open. Does the applicant wish to speak?
Good evening, Joe Herring, Herring Survey, 315 North Fifth Street. Staff covered it very well. You can see the layout. That is the intended layout. The south 2.5 acre lot would have a shared driveway with the existing house and the existing driveway that's already in place. The north tract will get their own driveway and when they talk with KDOT, they are supportive of that, but they want to see this rezone go first before they submit any more comments. They did state in the process that they would not, they'd be very hesitant on an interior road further development of this property. They don't think it's really conducive for future development and additional traffic other than the two lots that he is providing or proposing. The owner is here if you have any questions of him also. I think that covers it.
Mr. Chairman, just so I understand, because obviously entryways from the road are what will concern us. So what KDOT is saying is that the existing driveway and the new proposed north driveway are acceptable, but that if, in the future, if they were to subdivide this into all 2.5 lots and develop, they would not.
That he said preliminary without taking right. That would be a challenge. And at this time, he wouldn't be supportive of it, but in time in the future, who knows? We don't know who will be running KDOT.
Okay.
That is not the intent of the owner either. The actual only reason for rezoning the entire parcel is so we didn't have split zoning on the tract that's coming before you. That is the reason for it.
It is in compliance with the future use plan, future land use plan, correct?
Yep.
Thank you.
We will now hear from those individuals present wishing to speak in favor of the request. We will now hear from those individuals present wishing to speak in opposition of the request. Is there any additional information to be presented?
No, sir.
Okay. Public comment portion of this public hearing is now closed. The Kansas law allows for a petition protesting the decision of the Planning Commission to be filed. Petition must be filed within 14 calendar days after the date of the public hearing. Additional information on the filing of the protest petition can be obtained from the Office of Planning and Zoning. Are there any questions, comments from members of the Commission?
Mr. Chairman, I believe the research and the work that was done on this from what we've been provided and what we've seen before, based on where those driveway entries are, is a safe zone, is what I took away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because based on the other locations, we're talking hill and traffic, it's not conducive. So, I mean, it from what I read and what I have, it looks really good based on the.
I will entertain a motion on this request.
Mr. Chairman, I find that the rezoning request complies with the golden factors and move to recommend approval to the Board of County Commissioners of the request as outlined in case DEB-25-074 based on the recommendations of the planning staff and the findings as set forth in the staff report.
Is there a second? Okay. Roll call, or is there a discussion of the motion? Roll call vote. Marcus Major?
Yes.
Alan Stewart?
Yes.
Robert Owens?
Yes.
Steve Skeet?
Yes.
Doug Tyson?
Yes.
Daniel Clemens?
Yes.
Jaden Bailey?
Yes.
And Joshua Zanger?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Board of County Commissioners will consider this item no earlier than the September 3rd, 2025 meeting. The commission agenda is posted on the Leavenworth County website and is available for public viewing. Adjourn.
And Chairman, I misspoke earlier. I counted you. We need 2 people to leave, not 3.
Okay.
So.
For the regular motion, adjourn the public, planning and zoning meeting.
So,
Did you leave? Wait,
Yeah, what?
can't leave.
I'll
You weren't here last time. You can't.
No. I'll step aside.
And I'll join you. All right, go ahead.
I'll give you my seat.
Only 2 can leave.
All right, Marcus.
You're the first 2 to stand up.
See him.
and who's going to shut off the camera?
Well, nobody turned it on, so we'll be all right.
I love you guys.
Dereliction of duty here.
The Board of Zoning Appeals is now on. Roll call. Marcus Major is gone. Alan Stork.
Here.
Robert Owens.
Here.
Steve Skeet.
Here.
Doug Tyson.
Here.
I'm here. William's gone. Dan's gone. Jaden.
Here.
And Joshua Zinger.
Here.
Secretary's report.
That's you guys.
Secretary's report. Secretary's report.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there is no secretary's report for the BZA.
Says right here, Secretary's report.
Well, then my apologies on that. I missed that one.
You better give one.
BZA agenda.
All right.
It's the paint fumes.
Yep. The Leavenworth County Board of Zoning Appeals will now consider case DEV-25-077, a variance request from Article 41, Section 6, Exhibit B, residential entrance spacing of zoning and subdivision regulations. This requires a public hearing. Public comment limited to 5 minutes per person. Planning staff will now give a report.
All right. Case DEV 2577 is a request for a variance from Article 41, Section 6, Exhibit B, which is our access management policy, and Exhibit B is the residential entrance spacing requirements. The parcel in question is 21280 207th Street. The applicant is in the process of splitting or dividing this property into 2 parcels. And during that review, it's determined that an existing driveway is not compliant with the entrance spacing for this road type. This road, 207th, at this location, is a high collector arterial road. So that is obviously the highest impacted road in the county, and they typically have more than 1,000 vehicle trips per day along that section of road. That standard that they would have to meet is 660 feet spacing between driveways. The Public Works Department determined that the existing entrance that is there is an agricultural field entrance. And in order for it to transition into a residential entrance, that spacing requirement has to be met. And as you can see by the graphic that was provided in your staff report, they do not meet that, which is the reason why they are requesting this variance. Staff provided further analysis and additional history for you in that staff report, so if you have any other questions about that, please let us know. But as you know, we do not provide recommendations for variances.
It's all on us.
Okay. Amy, if I could, does the spacing that we're talking about include both sides of the road? So if
No,
one is coming in and there's another one on the other side of the road at less than 670 feet, does that preclude?
No, our policy is just for the side of the road that the entrance is on. It excludes anything on the opposite side of the road.
Okay, thank you.
You have the image that depicts the.
I don't know. Yes, there we go.
person died.
Any more comments? Upon opening the public hearing, the public comment portion of this hearing, those of you wishing to speak either for or against this item, upon recognition will give your name and address each time you begin to speak. This is necessary since the public hearing is being recorded. The public comment portion of this hearing is now open. Will the applicant come forward?
Good evening, Joe Herring Surveying, 315 just because it doesn't meet the regulations, that's why we're here. We don't meet the 660. It's actually 90 feet short. The entrance was put in, if you've read my exception through my comments on the narrative, it was put in the 90s. It serviced a residence there, albeit a mobile home. It was for the son of the family. For about 12 years, upon the passing of the son, they were sent a letter from the county that they can't rent that to the son's girlfriend, and they had to remove it. So they had to remove the tenant and remove the structure at that time from a residential driveway. That it was not an agricultural driveway. And it's been kept as a residential driveway for the simple fact that there is a power pole with a transformer on it that is currently owned by Free State. So they have a utility on it, a public utility for a residence. And they were never given in the letter from the county in 2005. It never stated you have 12 months to put a residence back or you lose your status. I'm not really here to argue that because I've never seen 12 months written in a regulation that you lose the status of the driveway. I've never seen a status, a regulation that says we have ag entrances, we have field entrances, we have residential entrances, an entrance is an entrance is an entrance is what I've always been told, whatever it is. So what we're here to talk about is space. Yes, it's 90 feet. They can't go 90 feet farther north because they encroach on that driveway up there too, which has a circle driveway that's only 170 feet apart or 180 feet apart. They can't go south. It's closer to the mom's house. They can't wrap around the back of the mom's house. There's a well house that's still functional, although it doesn't serve the house, and the lateral field's right there. So wrapping around the back of the house is not possible. So this is a very unique situation, albeit staff replied and said it wasn't. I feel that it absolutely is unique since it did house a residence and the county made it move it. So that in itself is a very unique situation. If you go out there, if anybody drove there, I don't know if anybody went out there. Out of the 9 houses out there, there's maybe 2 spacings that meet 660. They're all 300. One's 180. And granted, it's on the other side of the road. The house directly south of this, built in 2020, and these regulations, I believe, built in 2022, and these regulations were in 420, was allowed to put a driveway 300 and some feet away from the brand new house directly south of it. Now, I'm sure that's a safety reason, and it was done with good conscience, but still, it didn't meet the spacing. So, we're not doing anything that is harmful to the area. It's been a driveway since 93. Kept the power pole on the property. Got a picture here, taken a 81125, with the power pole and the transformer and the service line to the other power pole and service a residence. So they kept their power utility on the site, and someday going to honor the mother's wishes of her trust and split the property in half, and have one grandchild in that location and the other owns the property. It doesn't oppose the spirit, of all these. Yeah, it doesn't have the 660, but it doesn't. It's not different than what's out there. I have a whole bunch of documents that I could go through and read. Really don't want to take all your time with that. I think you guys have read most of it. But the owner is here. Their neighbors are here to really just say that that was a residence for 12 plus years. And they have this power pole on it with a transformer. So it's continued, not as a field entrance. Classification in our regulations, we just don't have.
So, Joe, in the discussion about if this were turned down and they had to use a single driveway to, I'm assuming the house that shows down there at the bottom, and why again can't a route to another residence, go from there, what's the issue?
Well, they gave you two options. One, use the existing driveway to the south of the house. Now, you can go use that, turn up behind the house, but there's a lateral field, and then there's a well house. So the only other way to go is go out into the farm ground and then cut a driveway through their farm ground. This property to the north is also fenced, and the residential land has been fenced off since the 90s, and it's not a part of the farm ground. So there's no affecting the farm ground, taking the hay and doing all that by keeping that driveway in that place.
So this is being split into two tracks?
20-acre parcel. It's a 40-acre parcel.
And where is the split? I don't see a split in this particular
It's in your packet.
concept drawing.
There's a survey in your packet. The split is just to the north of the house, and then goes back, and then angles back so we can get even.
Yeah, I remember that one now.
So we can get an even 20 acres, because that's what the trust said. The trust said equally split, and that is how we had to do it. Which I believe was supported by staff.
Okay.
And it's not this that we're talking about.
So we're talking this driveway and that driveway?
So this driveway was originally put in 93?
Prior to 93, I believe his father passed in 93. It's the date that he has a reference of. So the driveway was there sometime before that.
So at least 32 years.
Yes, very quick math, I can't do that exactly.
What? Is Public Works complaining about this?
Public Works had us come to the BZA because it just doesn't meet the spacing. That is why you have BZA. When you don't meet a regulation, you can't make an exception. I believe that it was said that driveway entrances are not part of the exception process.
Technical exceptions have to go through a variance process.
I'm sorry.
Technical exceptions have to go through the variance process. It doesn't qualify for a standard platting exception or track split exception. It's not a land use component. So the technical components always have to go through the variance process, which the driveway access would be one.
Would there be a grandfather clause on this driveway? I mean, somewhere in our
It's-
legal.
It's referenced in the staff report.
Okay.
That report says they lost their grandfather clause because they didn't put a house
Within 12 months.
But no document states that, no notice from the county stated that, and they kept their power pole on the property with the transformer owned by Free State for residents, and kept it fenced out of the farming operation since 90s.
And again, to be clear, staff makes no recommendation for or against. We simply give you the information we
I
have in the
understand
file.
that, John. I'm just,
Understood. I just want to be
it
clear.
just seems a little weird that we've had a driveway since 93 that we've been using. Whether there's a house there or not, I bet somebody's been driving in that driveway. I mean,
Have they been though? Because it's fenced off, so it was originally established as an agricultural.
There was a house.
It was established for a house for their son to live in. And they kept the residence area fenced off. They put a gate behind it. So yes, you can still go through the driveway and still go back into the farm ground. But the residence area has been fenced since the 90s. And then, I mean, we've been up here before asking for variances. We did one on Tommy Road last year for the Smith Trust. We did one on 166 for an existing driveway for a two-lot subdivision. It's just a process we have to follow. Like John said, technical standards have to come before you.
But we've been doing it on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah, you haven't seen a lot of them, but you've seen
Yeah.
a lot of BZA cases. It's not a lot of driveway.
and I take it we didn't have the 660-foot regulation in the 90s.
No, the access management policy where the 660-foot rule came into play was in 2020. I'm not sure what the standard was before that, but I do not think it was as large as 660.
No, we see this all the time.
Houses at 180-foot driveways across the street.
Sure, and that's the reason to bring it before the BZA. Does it meet the 5 statutory criteria? Really, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So, you have to weigh each one of those and find them in the affirmative for it to pass. But Joe's right. If it's technical and there's something unique about it, it absolutely has to come before you to make your determination. Then it becomes permanent. Whatever you decide is only appealable through district court.
So you're telling me the driveway's 90 foot short of meeting the variance? I mean,
90 feet short of meeting the variance.
Of 660?
Yes, but it's still, we're 60 feet short of meeting the variance going to the north. So it's right in the place that's equal distance according to that map.
So we can't move it 90 foot north because we're going to infringe on the next driveway up the road?
Correct. So it's basically at an equal distance, been there for Alice and Mrs. Stork said 30-some years. I didn't check your map, but I'll go with it.
So if we don't grant this variance and they do a lot split, you got a 20-acre parcel of land that's inaccessible. That could never be sold because you can't put a road to it.
They would have to create another entrance through a shared entrance or go through the expense, which is all expense on the owners, to somehow fix the problem of not being able to put the entrance where it has existed for 30-some years, yes.
I don't see how you're going to fix that with all the driveways.
What happens if they move the current driveway that's 573 feet from the one that we're discussing that we're asking for a variance? What happens if they move it south 76 something feet?
Now they're actually just shortening the distance between the driveway to the property already. So either way we move it, we gain one, but we shorten the distance to the other one.
So you'd go under 650 feet for the property that's south of this. Is that what I'm hearing?
We're at 570 to the driveway south. You're 5, I can't read that. 5 looks like 590 to the driveway to the farthest north. Either way we move that driveway, we're going to reduce that distance to one of those driveways.
It's amazing we can't get 2 driveways on a 40-acre parcel.
Yes.
I mean, it is. It sounds like that's just stupid. But
some situations are hard. And this is one of them.
Well, it shouldn't be hard.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor or opposition of this request? Okay. Does the board have any further questions or need additional clarification from the applicant? I covered all that. Is there any additional information to be presented?
No, sir.
The public comment portion of this public hearing is now closed. Are there any questions or comments from members of the commission?
Yes, we're running into this and have run into this around Leavenworth County for a long time. And we've got, I don't know how many, probably hundreds of driveways that have been put in without permits that are on main roads that are in much more violation than this. And Public Works they drive by it all the time. They maintain the roads. They're not going after them. This just doesn't make sense. Why are we even talking about this? This should be a shoe-in for us.
I agree. I think you got 40 acres and you can't get it 2 driveways in 40 acres.
Especially when it's been there for over 30 years.
While we're here, I will entertain a motion on this request.
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we approve this request for a variance. Do we need this special wording? Can you put it up, please?
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that I find that the criteria for a variance to Article 41, Section 6, Exhibit B of the Zoning and Subdivision Regulations for case DEV-25-077, as submitted by the application, have been met, and I move to approve the variance to Article 41, Section 6, Exhibit B.
Second.
Got it in there. Okay, is there a discussion on the motion? Roll call vote. Alan Stewart,
Yes.
Robert Owens,
Yes.
Steve Skeet,
Yes.
Doug Tysted,
Yes.
Jaden Bailey,
Yes.
Joshua Zanger,
Yes.
and I also will vote yes. That makes the vote 7-0. Motion carried.
Okay.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Meeting adjourned. Adjourned.
Thank you.